What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Amethyst. I just want you guys to know this now, that this channel is only meant to vent or basically describe my current or past experiences and only focus on that. It's basically a way to vent. So if you don't like what you're hearing, this isn't the channel for you. I'm sorry it has to be done this way, guys, but yeah. If you guys want to know about what I had to go through from him, here it is. Well, everyone, you know who I am. Welcome to my behind the scenes channel. Interesting little detail that I just found out. I am not the first person to have to cut a certain Mr. Robert Bryant Rose Jr. out of my life. And I'm not the first he's gotten an attitude with. Yeah. Go into further detail, guys. Well, basically, started out with, well, everything started going downhill with him as soon as his grandmother denied a chance of a mutual friend of his and mine from moving in. He decided to go behind his grandmother's back, trying to get this mutual friend of ours to move into him at some other point. He didn't feel like doing it. And honestly, I really don't blame him. Robbie is not an easy person to live with. He is a living nightmare. You all know of the issues I've had, all starting over the situation with the car, his Camaro. Tried getting him to actually put the proper work into it, because I happen to know the suspension was messed up. He went to a shop called Garland's because the wheel shop he was going to recommended it, which I disagree with. His mechanic shop basically said, oh, it's not the suspension, it's just the tires. The fact that it has they're basically saying the fact that it had truck tires on there, it was what was causing the car's suspension to cause create an imbalance in the vehicle. Now tell me something, guys. How does that make any sense? How? And when I told them they were wrong, that's when everything began to go downhill about that car. He decided, no, let's wait first and see if it still sits uneven with the new rims and tires on it, then he would get it worked on. No, I'm not going to do that, and I basically disagree with him on that. And since then, it's been an issue. Most recently, in fact, it was a couple weeks ago when he brought up the car with someone else and decided he was going to accuse me of bringing it up later in that mess. But basically, I once again tried to get him to get the suspension worked on, because after he mentioned he's getting the wheels and tires for it, I said I had an input of after you get the suspension taken care of. His first answer was no, when I tried to persuade him otherwise, telling him that he is not only that it's not only affecting him, but it's affecting me and everyone around him. He still refused and got angry, saying, listen, you little shit, and things like that, insulting me, yelling at me, and trying to make me look bad at work, when in fact he made himself look bad. So I essentially told him until he gets that Camaro fixed, I'm not riding in it with him. And then just shut my mouth after, and I shut my mouth. I did not raise my voice or anything. He elected to accuse me of raising my voice and things like that. Another thing that he did was he refused to let the topic go. And he started acting like a complete idiot over my choice of music at that point too. Next thing I know, I see the thing of a whole rack of freshly washed silverware being thrown down with him when he was the one holding it. I didn't know he had pinched his finger, so I went and said, "Yeah, real nice. In a workplace? Yeah, real smart." And he got an attitude with me over it, saying that if I had actually cared, I would know that. One little problem with that little statement. Oftentimes, people who care don't know what happened unless you tell them what happened. When he kept going, I basically told him, "Shut up," and went to take some dishes up to the front at work. When I came back to continue my work, he brought it up again, and once again I had to tell him, "Shut up." That second time he listened and actually shut his mouth, but continued acting like an idiot in other ways over my choice of music. So I basically decided, if you're going to continue acting like this, then it's time I put a little something over your head. Keep acting like this, I'm not going to ride with you. He stopped, but eventually he also said, "Fine, don't ride with me," and things like that. And then later on, after he said he was going to take me home, "Or do I not feel safe?" in that exact way, he basically, and that pissed me off. So I told him, like I said, "You're going to continue behaving this way, I might as well stop riding with you." He decided to say that he's just suddenly decided he's not going to take me home for that night or ever again. That night, and he also said that he didn't want to see me ever again. So I told him that if he's going to continue working there, he doesn't have a choice. So that night he quit. Not just so he doesn't have to see me, but so that he wouldn't have to drive me to or from work. Either way, it's still a violation of a deal he made with my family. A direct violation he made with my stepmom and my father. And since then, he and I have not spoken. And then earlier today, I found out he is deleting my profiles on his streaming services, which is another violation of a deal between me and him. He swore a deal. He and I even shook on it, that we would not mess with each other's profiles or even delete them. I found out he deleted my Disney Plus profile. He more than likely deleted my Paramount Plus profile, and he changed the password to that. Only reason he hasn't deleted my HBO Max profile is because I set a PIN number on it, knowing that there was a very high chance he would break this deal. So, and not long after I find this out, guys, I find out that I'm not the first person he gave an attitude to. A mutual friend of ours, of his and mine, was He sent me a message saying, "How are you doing? I'm sorry Robbie is doing this crap to you." He literally defended his grandmother after she told me I couldn't move in 2 days before I had to move out of the apartments. The guy had just lost his mother, and he gets treated like this. The guy told me, yeah, I was told by Robbie himself that he did not defend his grandmother. That he got angry that she didn't let him move in, but then he also started yelling at her a day later about it. Then I hear that when I told him what I'm dealing with, he's saying, "I'm not surprised. That's Robbie's shit for you." And excuse my language. In response to me saying, "On that we agree, this is the worst he's ever done to me. It's almost destroyed everything I've been working for." Basically said he's glad he and I are both rid of him. And then he tells me after his grandmother told him he couldn't move in, Robbie got an attitude with him. Prove the point, the message, guys, and I'm not going to show you the guy's identity. Oh, sorry. There's the message. Yeah, there's one of them. Here's the other. That tell you guys something? The guy also sent me another message telling me that he found out about my problems by watching my vlogs. So honestly, I'd like to thank him for supporting me and my YouTube channel. And I'm going to say something about his support of my YouTube channel and the vlogs tomorrow. But honestly, guys, this is just proof that Robbie isn't really worth it. And I will deliberately let him see this video by sending it to him through Facebook instead of giving him a direct link to my YouTube channel that I'm putting this on. The video will be specifically for him to see without any intros or outros involved. This just further proves that it's not his grandmother pushing people away, it's him. He still owes me $200 because I basically spent $200 on him just so he could get what he wants. And then he owes my stepmom $100 in gas because, big surprise, that night when he left me stranded, well, they had to come and pick me up in that van, which gets terrible fuel mileage to begin with. So, that night, I cut him off. He can no longer contact me on Facebook. He can't contact me on text now. He cannot contact me through my cell phone number. And I'm pretty sure he did the same to me. Mr. Robert Bryant Rose Jr. and I are no longer friends. And we could say the same with that bond he had with the other guy.